Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Muxy Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. So, last time we actually did completely done with the forms of Vanilla Dome, and today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be moving on to world number 4. This one is known as Twin Bridges, because if you couldn't tell already, there are going to be not one, but 2 bridges to navigate through, because you can see on screen, then we're actually going to be toggling through a shorter amount of stages, I should say. So anyways, let's get started right there by the forms of Cheese Bridge area. So, I believe this might actually be the only level in this world anyway, to actually feature this secret exit for it. But, unlike in any other secret exits that you can able to actually just, navigate it through, or it's just very easy to solve. This one is going to be very, very hurtful for Yoshi right there, because I say Yoshi for hurtfulness is because, well, we'll get to that as soon as we're able to actually get to all the way to the very end of the level. But as you can tell, it's basically a platform-heavy world, as far as you expected, except for this secret level in, you know, Twin Bridges, because, you know, as soon as we actually get ourselves, you know, the secret exit in this level first, so... And as I said this before, that this is easily the shortest world in this game, because you couldn't tell that the video's length wasn't going to be nearly as long as compared to how it does it what it should be. And by the way, if you manage to hit this question mark block, there you get yourselves these little wings, which only Yoshi can able to obtain for, which I'm probably not going to do that, because it only just gives you just... skip the entirety of the level, but in addition to that, you get yourself some tons of bonus in here and there, which I'm probably not going to do that, because I'm just here for the sake of, like, getting the secret exit first, before I do anything. So, okay, so this is the point I was going to do right there, and I apologize for the jump cut right there, because I have to grab myself my drink, and basically we need to guide Yoshi all the way to the, on top of these little saw blades, which, thankfully though, that Yoshi's completely vulnerable to that. Here's what's stingy about this. You see that little gold thing right there? We're supposed to go underneath it. Whoa, suiciding with Yoshi! That's just plain ridiculous, man. Anyways, though, after when you bypass this little regular normal goal, you would able to get yourselves not only the secret exit like I've shown you right there, but also 3 moon 1-ups. So, that's pretty cool right there, especially noticeable how the fact that my, life's count is almost up to 70 at this point. Well, granted it says like 66. So even then, I've only got 4 more 1-ups left before I reach up to 70. So now let's go back into the Cheese Bridge area again, but this time going for the normal exit. But even then, let's do it as a really, really cool, overpowered capability right there. So just in case you guys should already know about this level already, so even then I can speed things up a bit. But if you manage to accidentally touch by the forms of this little saw mechanical thing, basically you'll cancel out the forms of the flighting ability. So with that being said, let's nosedive into the actual goal pole thing. But hey, at least we got ourselves 14 points as a result. So not bad actually for the actual level itself. Although sometimes if you want to get yourselves a secret exit though, sometimes it might get a little bit more confusing in some players. So anyways, now let's move on to Kooky Mountain. It's gonna be a lot of food references here and there, like we got Cheese Bridge area, and now we have Kooky Mountain, and also coming up afterwards we got ourselves you know, Butter Bridge, and also the secret level I just access to is the forms of Soda Lake. So it's gonna be a lot of food names for that little recognition. So anyways, we got ourselves these multi-mole enemies, makes a return ever since during the likes at the very beginning of the game, and ever since during the likes of Yoshi's Island world. But this time around though, this is why the game starts to get really difficult, because now we actually introduce to ourselves Sumo Bros, which every time you solo Sumo Bros, usually it just goes on top of the brick blocks and all that stuff. Like, I think you might actually see one in just about a few moments notice, but if you couldn't tell already, I'm actually, breezing for this stage super, super well. Especially noticeable how the fact that, you know, the Cape Feather is really overpowered right there. Even by the forms of the actual flight. Oh yeah, there they are. If you see them stomping like that, it'll cause the actual, electricity, but at the same time, it's just fire effects. So even then, though, unlike the forms of, well, those guys will make a return and during the likes of New Super Mario Bros. U, especially with New Super Luigi U. it actually decides to shock you instead of like just trying to send down some fire at you. So anyway, so that's it for Kooky Mountain. Let's move on to I would say we're actually going to be going to you know, Butter Bridge now. So even then though, let's go ahead and just traversing through, you know, Vanilla Dome, like I've already accomplished everything from the last video. But even then though, we're not going to go for this world again, because we're going to be able to still continue on with the forms of Twin Bridges. So, Butter Bridge 1. And this level is going to be auto-scrolling for this entire time, but again, if you manage to screw things up with the forms of level types like this, you're pretty much going to have to redo the entire level again, so that's no good and no fun whatsoever if you manage to keep dying a lot. So, today was actually forms of the 4th of June in 2018, so we've literally got ourselves next week, by the forms of Sony and Microsoft E3 2018 stuff, but also enjoying in about 8 days left until, you know, Nintendo E3 2018, so it's getting pretty close, and yeah, pretty shocking. So, and also around that time, enjoying when it gets to tomorrow, and especially the next day, I'm probably not gonna continue this game until whenever it gets to the very end of the year, or something like that, because even then though, that tomorrow is gonna be another Let's Play that we're like able to tackle through, and I'll not gonna let you guys tell you about this, because even then though, there's something a bit secrecy going on right there, because, well, you guys should already know for the tell. So anyways, alright, so since you think this level's gonna be over, but it turns out we have to go up to the actual vertical shaft right there, and we can able to actually just to keep along with the track. So, anyways though, I'm quite surprised, we've almost nearly towards the end. I think we're actually in the halfway portion of this game, so to speaking, but even then, we're not exactly at the halfway point of the entirety of the game just yet though, because we've got several worlds left, including the likes of, you know, 4 more of those Koopaling fights we have to deal with right there. And especially noticeable with the forms of, well, after the forms of, you know, World 6 was I was about to be, trying to accomplish with this. And I could potentially try to deal with the Star Road, especially with the special world, which I'll explain more details on that later. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to Butter Bridge 2. I almost said Butter Building for some reason, because I keep on thinking of playing through, let's just say Kirby's Adventure / Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance. But because even then, because, you know, butter stands for, like, you know, butterball spreading stuff, I don't know. So anyways, I believe this level is going to be filled a lot with paratroopers or even Koopa Troopers as a result, even Koopa Capers right there, and good thing there's a checkpoint right there, so I believe, oh yeah, there's going to be something in there, which should be true, another Cape Feather after losing one, after getting hit by those, you know, Koopa Capers, and talk about that addition right there, so there's actually a pipe down there. Let's go ahead and investigate with this. And it's just basically just yet another bonusy areas and all that stuff, which is, you know, worth a while though. Even especially noticeable if you want to get yourselves, you know, some more extra 1-ups, etc. Then you can essentially try to able to actually go ahead and go after every single coins with this without being said and done. So, anyway though, let's move on to, you know, just continue exploring with the forms of Butter Bridge. Oh, you kidding me? Oh, jeez. Alright, let's see if we can just, I think we're almost nearly towards the end of this level, kind of think about. Oh, get blocked off by the forms of Koopa Capers. And I realized that we've almost nearly towards the end, because even then though, I can definitely see this little wood plank platform right there. This, what it meant it was, is the fact that I've almost nearly towards the end of a goal, so I was like, oh, come on, man. The goal is literally right there. I mean, jeez, that's a bit of obnoxious if you say so for myself there. But anyways, though, oh yeah, we got ourselves Yoshi at least, so that's the only good thing. And still keep on getting hit by those Koopa Capers. But on the plus side, though, we actually got to the very end. Because of that, though, well, you know, we just automatically get to the goal itself. So even then, I don't think you can't go over it. You have to go underneath it. that you know the forms of how to fathom this secret exit in the forms of cheese bridge area that I was on about. If you accidentally go over the actual or overshoot the actual goal, you're probably not gonna make your way to the actual secret exit towards Soda Lake. So, and if you manage to go underneath it, this won't able to affect the stage clear with the forms of the normal goals. So that's how it usually goes. That's how it goes. So anyways though, welcome to Soda Lake. In this case, the I would say the second water level, the true underwater level right there. And this is where we actually introduce ourselves in the forms of Torpedo Teds, which is basically the underwater bullet bill version of this underwater enemy right there, which sure acts like very much like how it does in a bullet bill, except the fact that it only shoots in underwater because they can't do it in the air. Because, you know, as far as the actual torpedo's name suggests, because, you know, torpedoes only existence in underwater, even for the actual submarines, for attack radius and all that stuff. But even then, that's just a pretty few situations become, because even then, yeah. Of course, unlike in bullet bills though, you can't kill them, because even then though, that they are essentially really invisible, because even then though, you can't shoot the fireballs at them either, because even then though, they also become invisible, as a matter of fact. But as long as we can hopefully try to survive this. Okay, good, we got a Cape Feather though. Oh, talk about that tradition right there. Oh god, almost gonna die right there. In fact, we've purposely made it, and we should be good to go right there. So, there we go. Whew, that was actually pretty close right there. And talk about that, we're gonna now finally get some more extra 1-ups, but in forms of the roulette blocks. So, there we go then. So far, we haven't lost too many 1-ups for this just yet, until, World 5, World 6, and World 7, and especially, Star Road, and even Special World as a result, because I'll get into more explanation until when we get to the Star Road, or even Special World as a result, which even we'll explain more details onto those later. So anyways, once you've completed Soda Lake, you actually immediately get into the third Star Road, but there's also a fourth one and a final one, but until later on though, so even then though that we're probably not gonna get into it just yet though, I will admit though right away, but even then though, that it looks like we've got one more level left in the forms of Twin Bridges. I believe there were about, I would say 6 levels in the forms of Twin Bridges, because even then though that, well, we've got Butter Bridge 1 and 2, which are essentially 2 levels. Cheese Bridge area, level number 3, Soda Lake is number 4, and Kooky Mountain is definitely number 5. And Ludwig's castle is level number 6, but it forms of, you know, the Twin Bridges. So, yeah, now it's all settled in, but it forms of actually taking on Ludwig von Koopa, ever since Junior likes have been Super Mario Bros. 3, that originally we did manage to take him down in the forms of World 7 Pipe Maze Airship. So, but this time around though, he was now on castle number 4 for some odd reason, but hey, he was supposed to be a, the tougher Koopaling of the actual purposes of the forms of the 7 Koopalings. Well, it wasn't until when it gets to, like, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, they managed to able to always put Ludwig von Koopa in pretty much every single Sky Worlds in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, like World 7 from both New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. U, well, to be more specifically from Moraine Clouds, in addition to New Super Luigi U as well, but also New Super Mario Bros. 2 World 5, because it's more likely a combination of both Sky and Mountainside World, and as a matter of fact, I kinda wish if the Ludwig von Koopa will be the major threat at the beginning this time around instead of like at the very end, because it just gets pretty samey every once in a while though. But I digress though, I'm not gonna be exactly nitpicking with this. And also this level is very much like how it does in the forms of the first castle level, which is essentially, you know, Icky's castle. It's the fact that you can able to do a 1-up trick again, but in forms of the actual cage section. But I'm probably not gonna spend too much time on this, because even then, we're almost low on time on this kinds of stuff, because even then, I don't suppose that this level doesn't bring us checkpoints this time around though, I don't think. Unlike the ones in... Although there is one around here somewhere, but I'm really kind of busy with the forms of one-up chain reactions going on right there. And even especially noticeable how the fact that the Ludwig von Koopa boss fight is going to be nowhere near as hard as the forms of Super Mario Bros. 3, and even the forms of Iggy Koopa, and especially, well, you know, Lemmy Koopa. But even then, here we on to the Ludwig von Koopa boss fight right there. Now, he behaves almost exactly like how it does in the forms of Modern Koopa Jr., except the fact that you can actually attack him around everywhere else, instead of like just getting blocked by 2 walls. So even then, you can able to actually maneuver around freely, and then you can able to actually stomp his head like as you expected 3 times, and boom, that's how he goes. He's pretty easy though, compared to how he does in Super Mario Bros. 3 counterpart though, because what he does in that game, that he just stomps around every once in a while, that's just managed to able to stun you around. But even then, it's not as noticeable this time around though, I don't think. Unlike Modern Koopa Jr. and even the other boss, which we'll get into later on, so look at all that. Ludwig von Koopa's days of composing Koopa's sympathies in Castle Number 4 are over. The Forest of Illusion lies ahead. Mario must use his brain to solve the puzzle of this perplexing forest. I feel sorry for this hilltop right there, because he's got himself this little cross bandage on his head, because even I know that, because the castle just blasts off like a rocket, and then able to actually land on this hilltop right there, which I will admit though, I feel sorry for this guy. So anyways, that concludes the Twin Bridges. I feel like I was gonna do just one level alone in the Forest of Illusion, which is essentially World 5 in this game. But afterwards though, we pretty much gonna end things off as far as we will go. So anyways, Forest of Illusion 1 only has like 1 secret exit, or actually 2 exits to be found here, which even then, I'll explain more details as soon as we proceed on to this level though. And by the way, before we get to this next video though anyway, I just realized, the Forest of Illusion is going to be filled with a lot of secret exits, because you can definitely tell why when we get to the later levels in the forms of the Forest of Illusion. So, and even then though, that we've actually in the halfway point of the game already, which even then I was quite surprised, and well, pretty much standard stuff, but in forms of 2D Mario games like this. But even then, aside from that though, there's not much to tell from that point. No. What's the point in that? Anyway. Oh yeah, we actually introduced it to ourselves by the forms of Wigglers. Wigglers made their first appearance in the forms of the Mario universe, which is essentially this game in particular. If you manage to stop onto her head, yes, I said her, because even then the Wigglers are essentially just female types. But even then though, that as far as you can tell, if you manage to stomp on her head, she'll become really ticked off. So anyways, the secret exit right there, I almost said secret switch for some reason. All it's doing is basically we need to obtain ourselves the power balloon in order to actually just go all the way underneath for this point right there, and then wait until when Mario starts to go into its normal size again, and hopefully grab the key and enter this keyhole, and we should able to lead ourselves into the ghost house. Because you can tell for this little imagery right there. And let's go back in there again to do the normal exit now, so I believe if I remember this correctly though, that how the fact that I'm assuming this world will actually gonna hold us into ourselves the 4th and the final switch powers in the game, because usually there are a grand total of 4 secret switches that we can able to actually found, or the switch powers as far as I'm aware from that. The secret switch powers will make a return and during the likes of the fan-made game, or a hack mod version of the forms of New Super Mario Bros. U, called Newer Super Mario Bros. Wii. But even then though, that I kinda wish I could just want to play through that game, but the only trouble is though, is I'm having a hard time able to actually access to the homebrew channel, which even then though, that I'm just gonna be using on my American Wii rather than on my European Wii, just because of how the fact that, well, obviously for there's too much potential is how the fact that I could normally try to able to actually accept this fact, but I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how to actually access to a newer Super Mario Bros. Wii. But I'm sure enough I can able only use the American copy version of the game. But unfortunately though, I do need to get myself the American version of New Super Mario Bros. Wii first, or just essentially just trying to burn the actual game on the actual ROM disc or something like that. But it might be very complicated for me though. But let me know in the comments below if you think that method's too easy for you. So anyways, now let's go ahead and end things off at this point right there. So join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Is the fact that we're going to be moving on to continuing on to the forms of Forest Evolution, and hopefully find some more secrets around here, and everything else will be just as well and used to be. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later, fellas.